KURINJI Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
Free bus for LKG to 8th standard.
Free, hygienic and nutritious food.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
KURINJI Education Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.in.
Good morning, students. Let me start a continuation topic of human digestion. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುನ್ನಾಡಿ videos already we discussed about digestion process or mechanism of digestion. What we ate the different type of food, that food totally digested by with the help of the several enzymes. Okay, the total digestion process is completed in the intestinal place. Then the end products, how it is continues the absorption after assimilation process, assimilation after defecation. These are the total 5 steps, correct now? So after digestion after onwards, what are the process is going on, especially in this video, absorption of the digested food, how the food is absorbed in the blood and then lymph. Okay, that we have to know. Let me start today video session. See now, absorption of the digestion of food. We ate carbohydrate containing food and proteins containing food, vitamins and then fat. After digestion process, carbohydrates are produced. Carbohydrates are end products are glucose, and then next proteins end products are amino acids, fat, glycerol and fatty acids. These are the end products. Okay, and what about the minerals? What about the minerals and vitamins? Vitamins and minerals, these are either fat soluble or maybe water soluble. How they are absorbing, that we want to know. See nana, the end products of the digestion, pointer place paranga, the end product of the digestion, that and all amino acids, monosaccharides and then fatty acids and glycerols. That is the basic thing. Okay, now here these amino acids and monosaccharides, nothing but glucose, those and all directly will absorb into the blood. But fatty acids and glycerols does not absorb into the lymph. So sorry. Here amino acids and monosaccharides are absorbed into the directly blood. Fatty acids and glycerols does not absorb into the blood. Initially the blood, fatty acids and glycerols absorb into the lymph. Okay, it's directly absorbed into the lymph. Again the lymph onwards, it is drained into the blood. The proper sequence order migration of the one place to another place, it will reach the finally a thoracic duct of the blood. Okay, then how it will possible, how it is happened in our blood, we will know in this video. See here, absorption process done by the 3 type of mechanisms, 3 type of system. One is active mechanism, active transport mechanism and passive transport mechanism, and then facilitated transportation. What is the differences, or what are the statements of the active and passive and facilitated transport? Here any substance means we are discussing about here digested substances and the absorption by the utilizing either energy is required or not yet required. Okay, sometimes they need some of the mobile carriers. Okay, so absorption process based on their utilization of energy, okay, based on their facilitate, carrier transport, based on that 3 different mechanisms, three different ways. Active transport, any substance are absorbing or transporting by using of energy, such a type of transportation we called as a active transport. And then passive transport means here not requirement any energy, not at requirement any energy, that is a passive. Okay. And then facilitative means facility is required. What is facility is required? Any substance, some of the substances are transportation wise, absorption wise, they required some of the mobile carriers. With the help of the mobile carriers only, they can able to transport the one place to another place. So such a type of transportation we call as a facilitated transport. Facilitated transport. Now here everybody recall the previous videos concept. The totally digested food is present on the gut present in the lumen place of the digestive tract. When you take the digestive tract, they are having the several layers, correct na? That digestive section cutting, digestive tract section cutting, that is one is outer side serosa, S indicates S, I mentioned here. After serosa, M means muscularis. Second layer, the third layer submucosa, and fourth layer mucosa, M. These mucosa only having the several villi like finger like structures, that is called as a villi, finger like projections. These villi like projections are increasing the surface area, that surface area give the efficient absorption, give the chance for efficient absorption. Already previous videos time we discussed. Now digested food is present in this place, pointer place, okay, in the alimentary canal gut place, especially maximum chances in the intestinal places, okay. Now these digested food, by the using of these three different ways, either active or passive or facilitative, from these lumen place or gut place onwards, it want to absorb into the intestinal mucosa layer. Intestinal mucosa, that means finger like projections are there, that is a mucosa na. So that mucosa layers inside, finger like projections inside, blood supply is there, blood vessels are there, along with that lymph vessels also is there, lymph vessels. So with the help of these intestinal mucosal blood vessels, all the absorbed particles will be absorbed into the blood and the lymph. How appropriate, already we discussed how that amino acids and monosaccharides are absorbed into the blood, and fatty acids and glycerols are absorbed into the lymph, okay. Then one by one we want to know. Here a small amount of the monosaccharides. What are that monosaccharides? Glucose, galactose, that is a monosaccharides, kadanana. And along with that a small quantity of amino acids, and along with that electrolytes are electric chargeable substances, chloride ions, nothing but chloride ions. These are not full components. A small quantity of these components absorbed by the simple diffusion. Simple diffusion means without energy, any substances is pass on the one place to another place. That place is, if you conveying the one method, high concentration region to low concentration region. For your understanding wise, here I will say one thing. Here diffusion definition like this: any substances are transport from the high concentration region to low concentration region. Now for understanding wise, in your room, in your classroom, when you spray the one perfume in the one corner, now after few seconds that perfume smell will be spread out the total room, correct na? Total room itself it will spread out, because of in which corner you spray the perfume, that place is of more concentration. After few seconds that perfume particles are spread out the total room itself. Like that what we add, that food fully digested presence in the gut place. Now that gut place having a more concentration, glucose also more, galactose also more, and amino acids also more, electrolytes also more. So the beginning time, the small quantity of the these particles, glucose, galactose, amino acids are absorbed into the intestinal mucosa. Because of intestinal mucosa places no glucose and no amino acids. So concentration engamo adhikama irukku in the human place or inside of gut. So gut onwards without any energy, the high concentration region to inside of the intestinal mucosa small quantity. Okay, some quantity absorbing after something that mean equilibrium state. Okay, then now onwards easily cannot absorb. Now onwards easily cannot absorb. Now what it is necessary, basing on the some of the some of the carriers, now some of the elements will be transport and absorption will be occurs. What are that? Fructose and amino acids. Fructose and amino acids also absorbed with the help of the sodium ion. Sodium ions are absorbing into the one place to another place. Here one place to another place means my intention in the gut inside onwards intestinal mucosal place. Okay, now intestinal mucosal some gut onwards intestinal mucosa side sodium ions are moving time, along with sodium ions these fructose and amino acids also will be traveling. Okay, so here fructose and amino acids are absorption into the intestinal mucosa. It is required some of the facility. What is the facility is required, sir? Sodium ion facility is required. Without sodium ion, fructose cannot absorbing. So here any substances are absorbed with the help of the other particle support. Such a type of transportation, such a type of absorption we call as a facilitative transport. Okay, facilitative. So here facility, for example I want to go my home. On the time I need the bus facility or train facility. Without that I can't move. Correct now? So for example, if we show something movement, that movement is given by our body, skeletal and muscle. Without facility of the muscle and bone, we can't show anything movement. So here any one facility, based on that facility only, a transportation and absorption process will occur in the some of the elements. Okay, what elements already we see. And then up to now what we discussed, based on the time there is no any utilization of energy. First time what we discussed here, glucose, galactose, amino acids and electrolytes simply absorbed by the simple diffusion wise, not necessary any energy. And then fructose and amino acids absorption wise energy avasaramille, but instead of the energy they required some of the transporting carriers. Based on the carriers they are transport, so that's why we call it a facilitative transport. Okay, and then next, water. Especially water is a transport and absorbed by the only one of the process, that is osmotic gradients. What is the meaning of osmosis? Already in the 9th standard onwards you studied. Okay, here osmosis word tells about water molecule movement alone. Always remember it, Nana. Diffusion tells about the particles, not at water molecule movement. Osmosis only tells about the water molecules movement. Now here in which place water molecules are very more, from that place onwards water molecules are moving the which place low water molecules are there. Okay, here in this time by orally I will conveying the one of the statement of osmosis. Osmosis means water molecules are moving from the high concentration region to low concentration region with the help of the semi-permeable membrane. Correct now? The same way I will conveying the another explanation. Osmosis means water molecule movement from the high water potentiality to the low water potentiality. The first definition based on the concentration of the solution. Second definition based on the water molecule gradient, water molecule potentiality. Okay. After that any other video topic of osmosis I will explain by the diagrammatic, but here what is the osmosis definition is enough. So especially osmosis tells about the water molecule movement, that water molecules are transported or absorbed by the based on the osmotic gradient with differences of the osmotic concentration. Okay, then next come with another. Okay, still all the components, all the digested particle not yet absorbed. Okay, some quantity of the particles only absorbed. And next nutrients, I mean digested nutrients like glucose, amino acids and electrolyte sodium, nothing but here sodium. These particles they transported or absorbed by the utilizing of the energy. Here energy is required, okay. See, nothing but for example when you take one balloon, and that balloon first if you filling the air with your mouth, first 1 minute without any force simply you can able to fill the air. After that after some gas filled in the balloon, if you continue the filling of the air in the balloon, it is difficult because of already inside of the balloon some air is there, it will opponent, it will give the opposite force to in your mouth. So on that time something pressure want to apply, like that already some of the nutrients are already absorbed by the simple diffusion process, and then osmotic gradient based, and then here facilitative transport. Still essential particles want to absorb, for that one here energy is utilized. So by utilizing of energy, if any particle is absorbing in the intestinal mucosa, such a type of transportation we called as a active transport. Here you should be understand always one thing, here digested particles are present in the middle of the gut, from there onwards they want to enter into the intestinal mucosa places, okay. So they are exchanging their places, exchanging time transportation want to occur, okay, by the different manners. So finally glucose, amino acids and electrolytes are nothing but sodium ions, are by utilizing the energy they are absorbed into the intestinal mucosa. Such a type of transportation we called as a active transport, okay. Up to now fatty acid, up to now glucose are absorbing, water also absorbed, and protein, amino acids also absorbed. Glucose is nothing but carbohydrates products, and then amino acids are nothing but protein products. Still fat is not yet absorbable, fat end products are not yet absorbed. Fat end products are fatty acids and glycerols. Now in the beginning of this video I said nana amino acids and monosaccharides are simply absorbed into the directly blood, but fatty acids and glycerols are not yet absorbed the blood. Instead of the blood they are absorbing the lymph. What is the reason? Fat size, I mean fatty acids and glycerol size is somewhat of bigger particles. That bigger particles does not diffuse it into the directly in the blood. So they want to need absorption by the something pores in the blood vessels. Which vessels are having the pores mean lymphatic vessels are having the small pores. With the help of that small pores, these fatty acids and glycerols will be enter into the lymph vessels, okay. How the process is going on I will explain now. See, here fatty acids and glycerols cannot absorb into the blood. Instead of that one they are absorbed into the lymph. In the villi of the mucosal layer, you know, got it at that point. Villi means intestinal places inside layer of the alimentary canal, mucosal finger like projections villi. There having the blood vessels supply and lymph vessels also supplied. That lymph capillaries we call as the lacteals. I drawn the one of the diagram in this corner, okay. You know, lymph vessels in the villi places, alimentary canal, such lymph vessels we call as the lacteals. Blood is fatty acids and glycerols are enter into the lymph capillaries or lacteals. How the process? Fatty acids and glycerols are end products of fat. Now those are all modified into the small droplets. That small droplets called as a mycellase. Now that mycellase are protected by, are covered by the one protein coat. That protein coat containing mycellase we call as a fat globulates. Fat globulates scientifically we call as a chylomicrons. Pointer place parunga nanna. Chylomicrons. These chylomicron size is a bigger size comparing with the glucose amino acid particles. So that is the reason these and all not yet directly absorb into the blood. So whatever it is. Now these chylomicrons transported into the lymph lacteals with the process of the excitosis. Excitosis means they want to enter into the cells, and then after entering into the inside of the cell of the mucosa, from the mucosal cells onwards it want to come out. So they want to come out from the cells. So if anything enter the inside of the cell, that is a endocytosis. Anything come out from the cells means that we call as a excitosis. So here by the process of the excitosis, these chylomicrons are transported into the lymph vessels. Now lymph lacteals, that lymph lacteals are converted into the, pass on through the, enter into the lymph vessels. That lymph vessels are that form the total network like the structure in our total body. Those lymph vessels combine together to form the lymph nodes. All the lymph nodes again drain to the bigger ducts. Finally in the neck region, in the collarbone is there na, when you touch your neck region, the both sides one collarbone is there. That collarbone near one blood duct is there. That duct is a thoracic duct. That duct is the thoracic duct. That thoracic duct onwards subclavian vein, it will enter into the subclavian vein. Now lymph vessels through the thoracic duct, all the lymph enter into the or drained into the subclavian vein. Now fat is entering into the blood circulation. Up to now the fat does not enter into the blood circulation. It is a particular different circulation, that is a lymph. The structural organization of the organisms time I already said. Lymph is a special tissue present, liquid tissue, that only here explained. Okay, through the lymph fluid all the particles, fat particles are drained into the subclavian vein. Okay, now through the subclavian vein blood, these fatty acids and glycerols are entered into the blood stream. When it is enter the blood stream, which one? These glycerols and fatty acids. Blood vessels inside endothelium cells are there. Endothelial cells. That endothelial cells are secreting one protein enzyme. That protein enzyme name is lipoprotein lipase. Lipo means already you know, lipid digested particle or lipid breakdown enzymes. So lipoprotein lipase, that lipoprotein lipase to burst out these chylomicrons. What is the meaning of chylomicrons? Mycellus covered with a protein coat. Now with the help of these lipoprotein lipase, it degenerate the protein coat of the chylomicrons. When the protein coat is degenerate, automatically mycellus will come out. Mycellus will regulate. That in the blood enzymes, they are break down into the again fatty acids and glycerols. Okay, fatty acids and glycerols. That fatty acids and glycerols to reach the beneath the skin. Beneath the skin, we have the special tissue, that is adipocytes or adipose tissue. That adipose tissue become absorb that fat, and then these fatty acids, they are converted into the fat. Then that will be preserved in form. That will be using in the further continuation. Okay. Then the third, in the third column here, all the particles, all the digested nutrient particles are absorbed. Glucose is absorbed, amino acid is absorbed, and the next what it is absorbed? These fatty acids and glycerols also absorbed. Okay, this is about absorption of different digested nutrient particles. In this time I will tell some of the additional information. This is the concept, it is not yet present in our book. Along with these particles, we add minerals and vitamins also we are taking. Minerals are easily soluble in water. Now vitamins, two type of vitamins are there. A, D, E, K is fat soluble vitamins. A, D, E, K is fat soluble vitamins, and other vitamins, C, B vitamins are water soluble. Now this is the reason, if you prepare anything delicious food, any food, we adding the something oil in that preparation of the dishes. Without adding of that oil we can eat, but if that food containing with any vitamins, fat soluble vitamins, it will not absorb, because of the fat soluble vitamins require the dissolvable fat. I mean they are require the fat because of they are dissolved in the fat. Without fat, that ADEK vitamins if you take, it will not absorb into the in your body. So that is the reason we should be add every food dish a little quantity of the oil. Okay, and then here in the third column I mentioned some of the in our alimentary canal, what are the parts, what type of substances are absorbing. Okay, several important questions are arising from these concepts. In the mouth some of the drugs will be absorbing, some of the drugs. In this situation I will tell one of the clue for you. Any heart attack persons, severe heart attack, if it is came any patient, doctors are giving to the one small tablet. Okay, that tablet want to keep below the tongue. Okay, that will be absorb the drugs very fast, it will maintain the heart functioning. So that is the reason. So some of the drugs quantity will absorbing in the mouth itself because of sublingular glands we know that present in the below the tongue. So that will be giving the absorption. Okay, that will secrete the saliva. By saliva it will digest, then easily absorbable. And the next one, in the stomach place, water is reabsorbing and small simple sugars. If you take directly sugar, okay, directly sugar means not sugar cane, these and all, directly glucose particles, directly when you are weak. Okay, when we felt any weakness, we are taking one glass of glucose. No need not digestion, because of directly we are taking the glucose. That glucose initially absorption start in the stomach itself. So spontaneous energy will come by the simple sugars. So simple sugars absorbing in the stomach itself. And one more thing, alcohol content also absorbing in the stomach. Okay, these alcohol content from the stomach onwards, it will reach the testing wise over alcohol reach the liver. Liver is antitoxic. Okay, detoxic agent. We already studied in the liver functions. That is one of the thing. And small intestine, this is a major place of the absorption of the all the nutrient food. Okay, already we seen all these things are absorbed in the intestinal place itself. And large intestinal place, just only water and minerals, a little quantity of drugs will be reabsorbing. Other than any place not at any reabsorbing. In rectal place also water will reabsorbing. That is not a matter. Okay, and then finally after absorption, what will it will work, sir? What is the use of what we are taking food? So what we take in food, that totally utilizing by our body tissues. Okay, that only here I mentioned. Our food what we ate utilizing by our body functions, that we called as a assimilation. See, the reaction ways I mentioned, absorbed substances to reach to our tissues with the help of the blood supply. They are integration components. If we take in proteins, that proteins are break down into the amino acids. Again in our body requires protein. So all amino acids again combining with peptide bonds, protein will remaking. So integrating components means several amino acids are combiningly protein will form. So what are the requirement substances want to make in our body for maintenance of life? That thing will be reappear. Recreation. Okay, so proteins will be creating, or saccharides also will be creating, storage of glycerols, this and all, starch, this. And then some of the things nutrients are utilizing used for the production of energy. By the respiration it produce the energy also. Every day for our daily wise work wise we need energy. That energy is creating by the mitochondria. We studied in the already in the previous 10th standard basics. You have idea how the respiration play an important role in the energy production. And some of the things nutrients utilizing for the growth and repairing. Any tissue is any tissue is damaged, that damaged tissue repairing wise and growth formation of something improvement of our growth wise, these what we take in food is utilizing. Such a process we call as a assimilation. In the next video I will start with defecation. So what we take in food, all the 100% of food will not at digest, all digested food not at absorbable, all absorbed food also not at utilizing at a time. Okay, so what food is not at absorbable, such a things liberating from our body, such a process of defecation. In the next video I will start from the defecation.